Thank you very much, Mr. Vineet Jain. Always a pleasure to be a part of the Global Business Summit. And over the years, I've seen this program evolve, grow bigger, better, and truly reflect the changing times, reflect contemporary issues. And I don't think we could have found a more appropriate opportunity than today to discuss a subject as relevant to current times as the decade of disruption, century of change. My compliments to the Times Group for the wonderful work that they have been doing in holding the nation's interests at the forefront and bringing to fore different points of view to help us navigate change, to help us address the challenges of the times. The nation today is moving forward on a fast track. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has taken forward the Reform Express in mission mode. I think if you look at the last few months, from the time the budget of 2025 was presented in July sometime when in February, 1st of February, when the income tax limit for individuals was raised to 12 lakh rupees and for salary earners to 12 lakh 75,000 rupees, where they pay no tax, thereby putting more money into the hands of families for expenditure, for savings, for investments. Right from that moment onwards, whether it's the reform of the GST taxation system, both in rates, in policies and procedures, simplification, whether it's the various foreign direct investment limits, the ability to invest for foreign and Indian investors, the labor reforms which have now taken final shape, the series of free trade agreements that we have entered into in the last few months. I would probably think 4 or 5 we're losing count. We did 5 in the last 6 or 7 months. We had New Zealand, we had UK, we had Oman, we had European Union, and we had the Indo-US interim trade agreement being finalized. All of this, in a way, reflects the nation's journey of progress. Bharat ki vikas yatra ka pratik hai. The way the government has taken upon itself to decriminalize laws, particularly for petty misdemeanors. We don't want people to be struggling through courts and legal processes, whether it's the simplification of the policies and procedures that are to be followed in day-to-day business or by the common man, reducing compliance burden, making life easier for the common man. With that mantra before us, this has been a journey of change to accept the challenges of tomorrow. And friends, I think India's global engagement today, from a position of strength, with self-confidence in our ability to compete, has been noted across the world. Never before did we ever see a time where India engaged with the developed world and got our terms. We finalized deals which were good for the country, for all sections of society. We have had path-breaking new initiatives. For instance, we never heard before the India FTA free trade agreement. And FTA is our agreement with Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Iceland, the four-nation bloc, we had never before heard of a free trade agreement in which nations were committing a legally binding commitment to invest in India $100 billion as foreign direct investment, not just a FTA investment, with a condition that if they do not invest that money in a defined time frame, India can claw back the concessions given under the free trade agreement. Now that's a first for the world. The world has never seen this before. But India was able to present itself as an economy. At that point of time, we were the fifth largest economy. Today, we are the fourth largest economy. Maybe a couple of years down the road, when I come to the Global Business Summit, we should be the third largest global GDP. But we were able to tell them that, look, a free trade agreement is about the future. And India offers a future where our economy is going to go from $4 trillion to at least $30 trillion by 2047, when each one of our Indians would have a per capita income of roughly $20,000. That's the delta of opportunity that we place before our negotiating partner on the table. It's a very compulsive case when I tell them that with your growth rate, you will probably become from a $2 trillion economy a $4 trillion economy. At best, things go well, a $5 trillion economy. By which time we would have added 26 trillion to our economy. And we've got to bring balance in every agreement. We've got to make sure that when we enter into a free trade deal, it's fair, it's equitable. Both sides stand to gain. It's win-win. And therefore, at the FTA negotiations, we were able to craft this new mechanism to balance the concessions being given. Of course, the concessions don't hurt us, because the kind of products that we get from the developed countries of Switzerland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland aren't going to hurt the Indian domestic manufacturing or farmers or anybody whatsoever. Their per capita income is upward of $1 lakh. Our per capita income is today $3,000. I dare say they cannot produce or provide us anything which we don't require at competitive prices to hurt our industry. There will, of course, be very high precision tools or machinery, areas where we do not have the capabilities as yet, which we will open the doors to them. And that's how a balanced agreement is made. But despite that, we got a $100 billion investment commitment. When we did the free trade deal with the United Kingdom, I was faced with the same dilemma. We are both $4 trillion economies. But come 2047, and by the way, in a free trade deal, you are crystal gazing into the future. You're trying to figure out what the future portends for both partners. And the same situation, I'm offering a $4 to $30 trillion growth at the minimum. On the other side, I'm not seeing that kind of a growth from 4 to probably at best 8, 9, $10 trillion. We were able to get a double contribution convention in exchange, by which our persons, Indians, who go and work for short term in the United Kingdom, who earlier would lose 25% of their salary, which went to the exchequer and we never got any benefit out of it, will now be paid in the Provident Fund account of the Indian in India and become his savings as he goes to serve in the United Kingdom for short-term employment or short